Hi all, thank you for joining in time. Can we wait for one more minute before we get started with our webinar? If that's okay with all of you.
We'll wait for 1 or 2 more minutes.
Hi all. Hi all. Welcome to this webinar, which is exclusively done for Math.Biz summer camp of 2026. We welcome all the parents, the teachers, the students, and the educators from different schools who have kindly joined this webinar to know more about the camp. So I'm Shubha. I'll be part of the operations team of RAM, and I'm the host for today's webinar. We will be clarifying all the doubts that you may have about Math.Biz camp. So we have different speakers lined up today who are past participants, teaching assistants, and faculty who will take us through on different aspects of this camp. Your child or the student might be in different age and stage and might be a past participant or a new one. This webinar should give you a brief overview of all the things about this program. So as always, we do have some norms because it's a 1 hour program and we want to get the maximum out of that. We will mute all our participants and we will also disable the chat, and we shall enable it at the end during the question and answer. Yeah. And next is the plan for today's webinar. We will first talk about an intro on our foundation, RAM, as we shortly call, Raising a Mathematician Foundation. Then we'll give you an overview about Math.Biz Camp, and each of the speakers will talk, and followed by Q&A. So that's the plan for today's webinar, right? Yeah, let me just talk a little about the foundation a little bit. And yeah, RAM is a not-for-profit organization. It's dedicated to nurturing mathematical talent among students. There are a lot of comprehensive programs and camps that RAM does, and this helps for students to get opportunities and resources to excel not just in math, but many more allied fields and pursue rewarding careers. That's the intent and vision of RAM. Yeah. Um, like all other organizations, we take a lot of pride in talking about our students' achievements. We, as an organization, focus on the students' journey in mathematics. We enjoy every student's growth and in their maturity to handle mathematical problems that require deep thinking and intuition. So we encourage the students to participate in reputed math competitions like the Olympiads. And as you can see, this is for 2025. Some of our students have won medals in these camps, in these programs, like in a cybersecurity Olympiad of 2025, you have in chemistry Olympiad of 2025, European Girls Olympiad of Informatics, Mathematics Olympiad of 2025, and also in Linguistics Olympiad 2025. So these achievements or these Olympiad exams help the children to challenge and to motivate them to find the inner metal, actually. So that's a little bit about our students. And now about the camp for today. We're going to talk about Math.Biz, which is a summer residential program. It's the 4th edition. We will be having it in Hyderabad, Mahindra University. It's from June 9th to 19th of this summer. So a brief about this camp. This is mainly for students in the age group from grade 9th to 12th. It's a 11-day residential camp. It's completely free program for 100 selected students. And the location of this camp will be in Mahindra City, Hyderabad. So the sponsors for this camp are Pravaha Foundation and Mahindra University. And the faculty for this are both experts from industry and academia. So that's a unique thing about this program. It's a very, very niche program which has been developed after decades of research by Dr. Hariharan, who's also one of the founders of Raising a Mathematician Foundation. This camp exposes high school students to applied math in the field of finance, economics, business. And this camp attracts children from all across India and also abroad, right? And so that's the main advantage of this camp. So now we have got a brief overview about Raising a Mathematician Foundation and also about Math.Biz. So now let's go to our different speakers of today who will talk about Math.Biz camp in detail. Yeah. Our first speaker for today is Adil Hassani. A brief intro about Adil. Adil Hassani is currently pursuing his bachelor's degree in actuarial studies while also preparing for the CA intermediate examinations. He has a strong interest in analytical problem solving and is an active participant in public speaking and debating forums. Adil was a teaching assistant of Math Circle in Nagpur. He's also been the TA of a prestigious Lodha Genius math program. He's attended Math.Biz in 2024 and 2025. Now, Adil will take us through this question that you see in the screen. Why Math.Biz camp can help a student in future subject selection and career choices. And this might be in the mind of many parents, many students. What is so different? It's combining math and business. How will this even be possible? And why this camp can help a student to explore their career options and subject choices. So over to you, Adil. Uh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Hi all, good evening. Ma'am gave my introduction already. I had the opportunity of attending this camp for past 2 years. It has been a great experience, and I will be talking about this question about how it helps in career choices. But before we approach that, one thing I want to share about the camp, firstly, is the different mindset that we have across those 10, 11 days. This camp is not meant to replace a school curriculum. Rather, it is meant to complement the school curriculum. The fact of the matter is that in the camp, every time what you do is you learn the why, the understanding, the reasoning behind the concept. So often a concept would come up which you would know already from your school days. But then in the camp, you would realize, oh, this is why it is happening. Or this is the reason behind why we do this. And this is a very interesting factor and the very interest generating factor for students. This why, which you understand, it is taught. It is it is understood in such a manner. So we don't typically do written proofs. The way of understanding this why is extremely intuitive, and this intuitiveness helps us stay attached in that course, and it helps us initiate that thinking process, which is basically meant to develop, which is what is aimed to develop in this course. It helps create that thinking process about you keep thinking why this, why that, every time you see a concept. The camp in itself is a very sophisticated intersection of math, finance, and economics. So the math part over here is the math that you understand where math is used in finance, where math is used in economics. So some students might have studied economics already. They come to realize what math is going on in the background for these laws, for these terms, or for these compliances. That is the main theme of the program. I personally, so like ma'am said that I've done CA Foundation and I'm also studying actuaries. This course, the two camps that I attended, I was able to find overlaps in in the courses that I'm studying. In fact, for example, in economics honors as well, in Sem 1, a friend told me that, a friend from the camp, by the way, a colleague, she told me that one subject of her first semester was entirely based on what she studied in the camp, what she understood or what she learned in the camp. For me, right now I'm studying actuaries. I found two papers in which the introductory part, I was able to relate with the camp. Oh, this is what I studied. Every couple of classes, I will realize this, I've already done this. I know this. I don't know. I know the reasoning behind this concept. And for CA Foundation specifically, the math part was so similar that I would say I was entirely reliant on what I had studied in the camp for clearing that exam. That was how useful it is. And it might seem that I'm giving, entirely examples of commerce-based themes, but the camp is equally inclined or equally meant for science students as well. Because this camp is the place where students who are inclined towards science will get to see the intersection of science and commerce. Because the cohort over here, the faculty, the teaching assistants, and in fact the colleagues, the 100 students which come across, all of these have all of these come from varied backgrounds. They have different subject selections that they've done over the years. And the teaching faculty, especially, they are all highly distinguished persons in their fields. Their exposure and their experience brings to the classes where you might see the overlap between science and between commerce, or particularly these subjects. This helps create that exposure and helps students take an informed decision about, okay, this is also an option for me. Because generally what happens is science students might directly get inclined towards STEM fields instead of any commerce field. And this camp gives a space, it gives a space to broaden your mind. And this actually did happen with me. I had no plans of pursuing actuaries, but when I attended the camp, I got to know about actuaries in detail. And that is when I started thinking towards, okay, I want to do my career in math and stat. Actually, this is a math and stat course. And that is how I turned towards that direction. So the core idea is that when we are in the camp, when we are in those sessions, every time we are able to relate with some real application, real world application. Because naturally we are dealing with finance and economics. And these are subjects that you are able to intuitively relate with what is happening in your life that on that day or in general. So this creates such an environment that firstly you are able to understand where all these concepts come up in different subjects, and secondly you are able to take this informed decision about what subjects you want to choose for your higher studies. So for example, if someone is in 9th, 10th and they want to select their subjects for 11th and 12th, they'll have a much better idea and much better understanding of what I'm going to face in those subjects. And this camp really helps with that. Thank you so much. Lisa.
Thank you, Adil. I hope the audience got the relevant bit of information they wanted to know about why this camp will help them to explore different topics that's done and explore different career choices and subjects. Yeah, thanks for that, Adil. Our next speaker is Manav Vanjani. Let me give a brief intro about Manav. And Manav Vanjani is currently pursuing his BCom and his CA. He has cleared his CA foundation in May 2025. He is currently preparing for CA intermediate. He is deeply passionate about use of math in finance and curious to learn how the world of finance works. He is also a faculty and TA at Nagpur Math Circle. He has been a student and part of Math.Biz in 2024 and 2025. So Manav would explain to us how can this camp benefit a curious teenager who feels that they are not very good at math. There might be some children who can really get put off when they say there's going to be a lot of math in this camp. Manav, would you like to take us through why do you think this camp is can be relevant for any curious teenager?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for the
Manav.
introduction.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. As ma'am said, I was part of Math.Biz 24 and 25. Uh, I would like to share my one experience. It was the first day of the camp, and I was really nervous kind of kid. So when I sat in the class, I literally remember it was the first day, and I just saw some guys doing some calculation using the Taylor series. And I came from commerce background, so I didn't know even what is the Taylor series is. And then I saw that the guy was in seventh grade. And I was thinking like I am in 11th grade, I didn't know anything about it, and what will I do here? This is not the place for me. But that's the beauty of this kind. Eventually you get to meet new people, connections with them. One of the best things I personally like about this camp is that we all are all without the phones for 10 days straight. In today's world, we are all busy on our phones, chatting with each other, but we don't get to talk with each other very easily. And I think it is essential for us. Otherwise, we won't be able to connect with each other. And people come from a different background, from different places, from all over the India. You don't get to see the people in your nearby, in your schools, who are so much passionate about mathematics, especially. So I was getting a little depressed on the first day, but eventually things work out for me. The faculties are amazing. They all come from a different background, and they made sure that we understood each and everything. Even they didn't hesitate if I asked them doubts while having lunch in the canteen in the night. Anytime they would be so nice. I also like to share one experience that we had a class on a topic called regression, and it was a heavy topic. So we all had a lot of doubts, and we carried the doubts all the way along to the canteen till the night. It was carried through the end of the camp, and nobody hesitated on it. We meet new people. In fact, I met Adil there. Adil is now one of the great friends of mine. We discuss lot of problems for like hours. Time passed by and we didn't realize that, oh, we are solving a question for 3 hours straight. We also got exposed to some amazing topics like portfolio theory, how the derivative markets work, including the futures and options. So, in entirety, Math.Biz has been a life changing experience for me. As I'm kind of introvert person, so I don't like to interact with people. But you don't have phones, you can't stay alone in the camp for 10 days, right? You have to make friends there, and the friendships that you made there are for life. uh, in nowadays also, when I'm having any problem, I call Adil for the help, and he's readily available for me to help in every sort of thing. And especially the topics that are introduced in the camp are not for 9 to 12th grade. They are meant for undergrad level. As Adil also mentioned that it helps in CA foundation also. But you get ahead of those students 2 3 years back only. That's the beauty of this camp. And you can't get this kind of experience, this kind of exposure in schools. In schools, we all are only towards marks oriented, and we don't find some people who are deeply passionate about as you guys are. I still wish if I was eligible as a student, I would love to attend this camp once again, and it should go on for lifetime. That's all I have to say.
You. Thank you so much, Manav. It really came from your heart. And I'm sure the audience would really help connect with this on how you felt the gadget free made it a very immersive residential camp and real experience for you. And the financial literacy skills that you learned through this camp and how it is not just uh, for 9th to 12th graders, but it is for undergrad level students and how it's made it in a form it's palatable for them. Thank you so much. It's really from the heart. Yeah. So now we have understood, and you might have got a glimpse of why this camp a student has to do. Um, Now we will be taking you through how this camp is being structured. So for that, we have our next speaker, who is Neelam Bojwani. A little intro about Neelam. Neelam Bojwani is an undergraduate student pursuing her BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. She is also a RAM alumni. She served as a teaching assistant at Math.Biz 2024 and is also the TA for Math Circle Nagpur at present. She's an avid coder. She emphasizes in integrating mathematics and coding to achieve precise and efficient solutions. Her research interests include applying AI in neuroscience and finance alongside her passion for mathematics. She has also been a faculty of Math.Biz 2025. So, no better person, right, to explain to us as a faculty and somebody who is in this little bit in the science field and also has been part of this camp to explain the audience about the structure of camp of Math.Biz. Over to you, Neelam.
Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction. I think you forgot the fact that I was even a student of Math.Biz 2023. Uh, so I have been a student, then a teaching assistant, then a faculty. So a long journey with the Math.Biz. So you guys might be excited that without phones, how will you be surviving in the camp and what all we do in the camp? So yeah, let's start about that. So the kids are generally divided into two batches. One batch is like the batches are on the level of grade, the scores in the test, and all of those things. And these two batches generally have around 40 to 50 students. The day starts at 8 a.m. in the morning with the breakfast, and then we have classes from the faculties. In between, we have TA sessions. So whatever you study in the classes, you can actually take help from TAs to understand that topic better. So it's like you learn the topic and then you immediately get the help to grasp that topic deeper. So that actually gives you a confidence about the topic, and whatever will be taught next, you will be always confident that you have learned whatever you have studied before. So TA sessions help you that way. And then the day continues till 7 p.m., 8 p.m. until the dinner comes in. Then you have your dinner. And after dinner, we do not generally go to sleep. We have TA sessions where TAs speak about their interests, their experiences, how they have come up till here, what are they pursuing, and whatever life experiences they might have, they share with the people. In between these games, it's not always study, but we also have games, we have cultural night, we have a lot of fun, including all of those things. So it's not just about studies, but fun with studies. Um, in fact, pursuing my field, I am doing my BTech in AI/ML, but since it's an applied field, I always wanted to use my AI knowledge into some field which can help people actually. Healthcare was something which I was already pursuing, but when I became the student of Math.Biz, I realized that AI can actually be applied to finance, and it can actually change the way we look at finance. So I started reading about finance and technology, and that's how I also came to AI and fintech. And right now, we have recently launched a startup in AI and fintech. So Math.Biz has actually changed a lot of things for us. Moving on to the topics which we are generally taught at Math.Biz. So it's probability, theory, distribution. So these are the topics which you generally learn at the undergrad level. And it's not just finance topics, it's also the science topics which are taught at undergrad level. So whether it's BTech course, whether it's economics course, or whether it's general finance course, you are taught these topics. And these topics also have a very strong application in applied maths as well as pure maths. So this is how we start our foundation of Math.Biz. And then we move on to a bit financial topics like financial mathematics, bond mathematics. And these are the topics which are taught at CA final level, CA inter level. So these are those topics. Moving more deeper into actuarial science, we teach students portfolio theory, financial derivatives, and then comes the mathematical modeling of risk. So mathematical modeling of risk actually helps students realize how maths can actually be applied in real life, along with the uh, pure math thing. So you have a pure math T. So if you are from a science background, you already know the maths. Now you learn the applications. If you are from the finance background, you already know the logic, but you learn to apply the maths. So it's a combination of those things. And then we finally come to very deep industry level applications like fintech, behavior economics, and algorithmic thinking. So these are the topics where you actually apply your knowledge to real world and you can actually build something or choose your careers, and that's how Math.Biz actually helps you in varied manners, not just in finance. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Neelam. Thank you for taking us through the structure of the camp and also what are the different topics, sample topics that are covered in Math.Biz. So I hope you all got a flavor of the camp, of how it is going to be structured and all. The next speaker will take us through a Ragha movement from the camp. So for that, we have Nivedita. A brief intro about Nivedita. Nivedita is currently a grade 8 student based out of Chennai. She is passionate about math, football, and origami. She has been associated with RAM since 2023, attending all of the residential camps of the foundation so far, and has also loved every single one of them. So, Nivedita, can you just take us through an aha experience you had at Math.Biz as a first timer in 2025? Over to you.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. So, I think that I found the course by JP sir on congruence of life goals to assets like the most impactful. So, in this course, we did this one exercise where we look at how much money we're going to make by the time we're 45. And we look at different things like where we're going to study, higher education, where we're going to work, where we're going to live. So, there are a lot of factors which go into this exercise, as I'm sure you can imagine. So I was staring at this like huge total of how much my parents would spend for me just by the time I reached grade 12. And I was like, wow. And it brought a profound sense of gratitude to me towards my parents during this camp. So that was one thing I really liked. And as a student, I'm pretty focused on like right now my education, my math, etc. Right? But I don't actually think about what a comfortable life I'm living and how much that my parents were like spending on, are willing to spend on me, which is something I really got from this exercise. So one more thing was that when I start earning, I'll have to pay for literally everything, right? And that was like a huge reality check because and that taught me that how crucial it is to know how exactly to spend and invest your money to make it grow in like the best way. So I also think that if someone had taught me these financial math concepts just as theory, I'd have been like, oh, okay, cool. Or I might have just gotten bored with it, honestly. But I think why Math.Biz is special to me is because alongside with the theory and the concepts, it taught us exactly how to apply it and showed us a few examples. So I found that to be a powerful way to learn them. And that's why I also felt it stayed with me for longer. So that's a really unique, one of a kind experience that you can only get in a camp like this. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nivedita. I hope the participants of this webinar also understand that topics of economics and finance and math can be done in a very relatable way, and it can be very enjoyable and help them connect with it more. So I think it's a life skill. Wouldn't you all agree that these concepts have to be had by anybody and everybody, whether they are a science background or a commerce background? It's a life skill, I would say. So yeah, thanks. The next speaker for today, who's a teaching assistant and also faculty of Math.Biz. So for that, we have Karan Agarwal. A brief intro about Karan. So Karan Agarwal has completed his dual degree in mathematics and computer science from BITS Pilani. He came as a RAM TP student, one of our other summer camp of RAM in 2017 and has been in TA for Math.Bit since 2023. So last 3 years, 23, 24, and 25, he has been a TA for RAM Math.Biz camp. He has also served as faculty at RAM Math Circle in Nagpur. He is currently working as a quantitative analyst for a leading global investment firm. So over to you, Karan. Please take us through your experience as a TA and as a faculty for Math.Biz and what has made you come back every year and how it has helped in shaping your journey.
Yeah,
Over
thank you
to
so
you.
much. Thank you so much for that intro, ma'am. It always feels good to connect back to RAM, and I just love to connect to students in webinars like this. So as ma'am mentioned, my journey with RAM started in 2017 when I attended my first camp in Mumbai. So yeah, it's been a long journey and I really cherish each and every moment of it. Uh, so uh, you already have heard a lot about what happens in the camp, but I'll just talk a bit about what camps at RAM actually mean. Okay, so studying at the camp is one part of it. You get to learn a lot of things. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to work on a lot of interesting problems, topics, etc. But what is very specific and what is very interesting thing about such camps at RAM is the camps are not just camps. These are not just the 10 days, right? So Math.Biz is one of a kind of a camp because for such age group, I don't think anyone is teaching finance uh, in India, like as of now. So what truly sets RAM camps is it's not just a 10-day camp, it's a community, right? You actually meet a lot of people, you meet faculties, you meet TAs who are coming from various backgrounds. Like there are undergrads who are studying maths, there are undergrads who are doing their MBAs, there are undergrads who are like studying, who are doing their CAs, as you heard Adil and Manav talking about it, right? So there are engineers who are working in the fields, and then comes the faculties. I'm sorry, sorry, pardon me. So yeah, even the faculties are coming from like we have a professor dedicating 10 days coming from Germany. Then we have like faculties who are actually advising other firms, other startups as a financial advisors, people owning businesses. So there are a lot of people you get to connect to, and these are actually meaningful connections. And I don't think you will ever get such a group of people at like at one place. So that is the best part about RAM because uh, you like make such connections and they are very helpful in your life. Trust me. I'll just like share one of my stories. So I was, like ma'am mentioned, I was a teaching assistant at RAM at Math.Biz in 2023, and I had my interview at the firm I'm currently working in 2024. So I had written on my profile that I was a teaching assistant at so and so camp, and the interviewer was so like interested that at such young age, how do you teach people such topics? So I shared my story as a TA, and like I think that did add like the cherry on the cake for me getting cleared in that interview. So like it's really meaningful. So on a personal level, this experience is very meaningful to me because I was once a student at similar camps, right? So I have attended a few camps at RAM, and the friendships that and mentor relationships I formed back then have stayed with me. So I still have friends. Like I'm still in touch with the people I met in 2017. Okay, so coming back now as a teaching assistant, as a faculty, and supporting RAM feels like completing a whole circle. Like it gives me back to the same kind of and like I like to give back to the community that shaped my academic and my professional journey. So yeah, as it and talking about my role as a TA at such camps, as a TA, it's like incredibly motivating to see students working on and engaging with topics that uh, we are actively using in work and the topics which we study in like undergrad level. So their curiosity and the enthusiasm constantly push me to think more clearly, explain better, and stay excited about these topics. So yeah, in many ways, the learning goes both ways. It's not just you are learning, but it's also shaping our future. Like we get to learn a lot of things from you. We get motivated, and camps like this like are like fuel to me. I stay motivated for the next 6 months because just thinking of the fact that you are studying these topics at such a young age excites me. Like I studied those topics when I started working or when I was in college, right? So like it really excites me to like connect with students to like think what they are thinking, to see everything from their point of view. uh, so yeah, I mean that's all from me. All the best everyone, and stay in touch with RAM. It's a great community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Karan. That was such a wonderful, heartful, heartfelt message that you gave for the participants. I'm sure they would have uh, got the vibe of how raising a mathematician builds this community, and the children who want to come back and give back. All the students, all the people who you saw in this speaker lineup, they're all so willing, wanting to come back and give back to this community because they have gained a lot. And that's what makes Ram community much more special and very bonding group that we can say. Yeah. So you build a family with this. So yeah, thank you for that, Karin. And I'm sure all the speakers have made you understand about how Math.Biz is for your students, or if you're a student attending this webinar, how this is something you should explore. So now that we have gone through all of that, we will take you through the application process of this camp. So for that, we have our next, last but not the least, speaker, Akshaya Shri. A brief intro about Akshaya Shri. Akshaya Shri is currently a grade 9 student from Coimbatore with a deep passion for mathematics and problem solving. She is particularly interested in number theory and algebra and enjoys exploring challenging mathematical ideas. Alongside mathematics, she's also interested in coding and logical thinking. She's been a veteran RAM camper, I would say, because she's participated in All Girls Math Nurture Camp and Roots Camp of RAM for 4 times straight. And she's also been part of Math.Biz 2025, which she feels has strengthened her enthusiasm for mathematical learning. So over to you, Akshaya. Please help us, help our participants and explain them the application process of this camp.
Thank you for the introduction, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'm Akshayashri, and I'm going to walk you through the application process for Math.Biz 2026. So, there have been quite some updates this year in the application. There are multiple phases. So, the first stage is the initial application. So, here students will have to apply through an online platform where they'll be answering a group of questions. These questions will be about their interest in mathematics and how they got curious about it. The deadline for this application is March 20. Oh, and also they will be having to submit a letter of recommendation from a teacher. The letter of recommendation need not be only from a school teacher. It could be from any teacher who knows the mathematical ability and strength of the student. After the applications are received after March 20, the applications are reviewed by the selection committee, and the first list of selected students will be out on the website by April 20. These list of selected students will also receive the pre-reading material after around 1 or 2 days. So the pre-reading material basically contains the prerequisites for the camp and some basic concepts. The students will get about 20 days to go through the pre-reading material, after which they'll have a pre-reading material test. Tentatively, it is scheduled for um, May 13th to May 15th. Among these 3 days, the students can choose their convenient time slot and attend the test online. They will have to get above a particular percentage cutoff around 85%. And around the third week of May, the final shortlisted list of students will be released on the website. So these students are the ones who will be attending the final camp. The selected students will have to fill out a consent form to confirm their spot. So Math.Biz is a great camp, and guys, I had a very great time last year when I applied. I was only in 8th grade, and the concepts I learned was wonderful, and I really hope I'll be a part next this year as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Akshayashri, for taking us through the application process. For all the participants in this webinar, we would request you to take a screenshot of this process, because it's important that you don't miss the deadlines, and also to know what to expect when. One last thing that I would say for all the participants here is, once you receive the selected list of students, if you're part of the selected list of students, and receive the pre-read material, we would suggest that you get the required approvals from your school to ensure that you are able to attend the final camp. So, I mean, though the final result will come only in May and most schools are closed by then, we would request you to ensure you do this little bit of pre-work. And so be prepared in case you get selected. You don't have to go through any scramble around to get application approval from your school. Yeah, that's from my end about the application process. So, yeah, that comes to the bit about the Math.Biz camp in general, the overview about the camp, the speakers talking about the different aspects, and then the application process. So next, we would like to take you through some of the distinguished speakers who have come to the past Math.Biz camp. So as you can see in the screen, we had Gopi Chand, we had Dr. Jeff Ulrich, Dr. Duri Subbarao, Dr. K. Subramaniam. As you all know, they're all people famous in their own fields and done a lot of things. It was a very enriching experience for our Math.Biz campers to get to listen from these distinguished speakers. So that's the kind of people who come and want to interact with the students. So yeah, that's also another thing that we wish to share with you. And last but not the least, the people behind Ram Team. It I think you all will agree, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And the children who come to all our RAM camps, these people behind the scenes are also part of that village who are trying to do their best to ensure children have the best camp experience, or the program that they attend to. So for today, I would like to specially thank the backend team who have been taking care of all the things to ensure that the webinar happens smoothly. Nikita, especially the head of operations at RAM, Neha, our senior admin, part of RAM operations team, and then our two young volunteers, Pratishta and Arya. So they have been running behind to ensure this webinar happens smoothly. Yeah, and I would also like to take this moment to show the people or behind this wonderful foundation. Won't you all agree it is to have a vision to run or try to have such an organization when the names of gifted, highly able children, those vocabulary didn't even exist in 2012, to think that such an organization should come into existence. So the people behind that are Jayaprakash Ranjangam, who's fondly called as JP, then Vinay Nair sir, Professor Hariharan, and then CA Natarajan sir. All of them have been part of this to start this particular foundation. They thought that how can we give something beyond school curriculum for children who can take in more, and also make it palatable, and also make it interesting and fun and child centric. Isn't that so amazing? I mean, I was like wow by this when I first got to know this organization and what they do for children. So, won't you all agree that it's way beyond the time to think on this and do a program to start an organization like this? And each year they keep innovating and keep reinventing and come up with different plans and different ideas to ensure the experience for children are so enriching and keeping it very, very child centric at the end of the day. So that's about our co-founders and trustees. And that brings us to the end of this webinar in terms of the content. So now we can go to Q&A. So you can put up your questions in the chat right now. I think the chat should be enabled by now, and we are officially done with the content of this webinar. We will be moving to Q&A. Thank you all for taking your time to listen into this content. Now you can put up your questions in chat. And if you have anything specific to answer, I mean, you feel it's not answered, you can raise your hands and our team will unmute you and you can ask your questions as well.
Yes, Anjana.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Actually, I myself Satyaraj, father of Anjana.
Yes.
I just saw some advertisement somewhere and then I registered. I was thinking like there will be some session will be happening today, but it's more like of an intro session, like how the existing batchmates have gone through those 10 days. Yes, indeed, it's a good info. And I'm actually this why it is June 9? If it is June first week or if it is May end, it'll not disturbing their academic schedule and it will help. I mean, no need to get permission from the school specifically.
Yes, sir, I agree with you. There are a lot of factors that go into getting this schedule.
Okay.
It mainly depends on the faculty of this program
Mhm.
and their schedules, and also because the Raising a Mathematician Foundation runs a lot of summer programs. So we
Okay.
have camps starting in from beginning of May, which is
Mhm.
called Epsilon, and then we have another flagship camp of Ram, which is Ram TP, which is happening in IIT Madras this time, and
Mhm.
then followed by Math.Biz, which is happening in June 9th. So there is a lot of planning that goes into this dates, and this has been planned much ahead.
Okay.
Um, we do uh, we do have queries like this, but unfortunately, we are not able to change the schedule.
Okay, madam. Okay, madam.
Yeah,
Actually,
schools are very mindful these days. They do give just that they need some advance notice and they need to know that it is a program that
okay.
uh, the children will benefit from such a program. So many schools are very, very appreciative of that. And every year we have been getting students, even though it's the beginning of school academic year for many.
Okay. What is the batch size, madam? Actually,
There are about, that's as Neelam mentioned, about 30 to 50 students in a batch. And we have TAs who are dedicated to, like, you have a TA ratio to TA to student ratio that is very well maintained. So you can expect that though the batch size sounds a little big, they will ensure the children are getting what is being taught. So yeah, that's how the structure goes.
okay, ma'am. Actually, Anjana is moving from 8th to 9th, and her elder one is moving from 9th to 10th. I registered only for Anjana, and is it possible for both of them to attend the preliminary selection exam?
Yes, as you saw, the preliminary selection is not an exam.
Okay.
I will keep that slide on so that it's clear. As you see, it's a detailed questionnaire that the children have to fill in, and along with a letter of recommendation. So, as you mentioned, you have two children in that age group. You can apply, they can apply, both of them can apply.
Okay.
And it's a very detailed questionnaire that they need to fill in, and
Okay.
also along with the letter of recommendation.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
based on that letter of recommendation and the questionnaire, we get 500 plus applications every year for Math.Biz. So it is a lot of review that goes into each of the application. And
Okay.
so from that, a selected list of students are informed with the pre-read material by the third week of April.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the process. So there
Okay.
is no test as such. It is a first round is not a test. It's a questionnaire and letter of recommendation. After the pre-read material is given, there is a test where it is only based on the pre-read material. So
Oh,
children take time to go through that pre-read material, put in that effort into it. They can definitely score
okay.
the minimum cutoff percentage that is given, and they get 3 attempts to do that also. So
Okay.
that's the kind of advantage because you know what you're going to be tested on, and this material is going to be very, very crucial when they come to the camp. So it will be really good for them, and even for students who don't make this cutoff by
Mm-hmm.
chance. I'm saying this
Mm-hmm.
pre-read material by itself is a treasure too,
Okay.
and I understand it is really good, and it is really help the students to understand, look at mathematics in a very different lens.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Is there any other question that needs to be answered? I see a lot in the chat. So I think this application process, this screen share that I've done, can be a very, if you look through this, it will help you understand the application process in detail. So that's why going through this will be important for the parents and the students, also the teachers, to see how this application process works. Yes, I see some questions on accommodation. Yes, it is a completely residential camp, and children have to be in the campus, and they will be provided with accommodation, food, and everything. And there's no cost involved other than their own travel. So that's the only thing. Yeah, I hope I've answered that question. Yes, for parents who have registered, for all the participants who have registered for this camp, we are going to be sharing the recording of this camp, of this webinar. So you can watch the recording to know more details about it. Our team is putting up the link for the application. I see some questions on some of the students are past timers. Past campers are asking if they are part of another camp, how would they attend, do the written test of this camp? We will work on that, write to us separately. If you have any such specific request, we will ensure to accommodate the same. If there are no questions for the webinar, we may close the webinar. Okay, the camp will be held in Mahindra University in Hyderabad. They are our venue sponsors. Thank you all. I think we are coming to an end of our. So, if you wish to reach us out, please, you can look at our website, and this is our email ID, our number are all given, so you can take a screenshot of this to reach us out for any further queries. And like all the other people, we are also on all the social media platforms, so you can again take a screenshot of this if you wish to follow us in Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp. which will help you to be connected and know all the programs that's happening from our end. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your time. And we are done with our webinar. If there are any more queries, please reach us out in our WhatsApp and email ID.